everyone, welcome back to G-Force. Today we have something a little bit different. As you probably just saw, it is snowing here in southwestern Ontario, and in fact this is like the first real snowfall of the year. We had some weird stuff happening in November, December, even towards Christmas, just like some snow that just really dumped down on us and then all of a sudden just melts and goes away. Never sticks around for very long, but it looks like now we're going to have some stuff that actually stays. So, today I want to show you our snowblower that we use for our big long driveway, gravel driveway. And we haven't had to use it. My dad used it once this year earlier, but just for a little patch on our driveway where there was a drift. Otherwise, I've just shoveled. But now, today, I think we've had about 3 or 4 inches. Get closer to 5 now. I think it's time to actually break it out and do a little bit of snow blowing. So this is the Cub Cadet 28-inch 3-stage snowblower. I don't know if it's got any other title to it or if that's all. It's only got about like 25 hours on it so far, even though we've owned it for about 5 or 6 years. We don't use it a whole lot. It's powered by a 357cc Cub Cadet branded. I think it's like almost a no-name or a Honda clone. I think it is. Something like the GX 340. Close to that same displacement, but it's a little bit different. Anyhow, it is not comparable to a Honda engine in any way, which I'll get to in just a moment. But here's the machine. I'll just show it to you. Sorry about the lighting and the noise. We're in the car shelter here where it's stored. And also sorry about how dirty it is. Our dog's been digging in here apparently. But it's got air tires, 3-stage, as you can see. It's got 2 augers on the outside and then 2 in the middle to pull it back towards the impeller, which tosses out the chute here. It's all mechanical controls. Nothing electric, of course, for this price point. It's a fairly affordable 3-stage. It's got a nice big gas tank. I put an LED light up front, which is helpful when you're doing it in the dark. And I'll show you the controls here. It's got manual choke, primer, safety key, and throttle right down there, if you can see. Actually, I was going to say it doesn't have electric start, but it does have electric start. I just never use it because it's not a battery electric start. It's a plug-in, which I find annoying, especially because I started it out here where there's no electricity and it's all a bother. And I guess I'm young. 17-year-olds can use pull start. Let's see, anything else? It's got a nice tool clipped on for unblocking the chute if it gets clogged. And I guess that's about it. So there are 2 main issues I have with this machine. Works pretty well, even on gravel, which is a pretty tough surface for most snowblowers, self-propelled snowblowers. But those 2 issues are, number 1, the engine. As I alluded to earlier, it's not the most reliable engine. We've had it just go dead when you just want it to start and get the driveway cleared. I don't know if it's something we're doing. I knew less about engines back then. Maybe I'd be able to figure it out now, but we would sometimes go to start and it just wouldn't start. And then a day later it'd start just fine. So who knows what that is, if it's some sort of vapor issue, but vapor lock, I don't know. Or if it's just us messing something up. But it has had issues starting, which is not ideal because a snowblower is the one thing, even though you don't use it all that much, you still want it to start every single time because it's kind of something that it's a piece of equipment that gets a job done that needs to get done. So for us, it wasn't a big deal because my dad works from home and the rest of us don't hardly go anywhere all day. So it's not all that urgent, but just a note for some of you who need a reliable machine. Again, this is, if I haven't said yet, this is not a review video. I'm just showing you this piece of equipment and how it's worked for us. The second issue I have with it is it being a 3-stage, which is not really an issue with the design. It's just what 3 stages are. So as opposed to a 2 or a 1-stage, and I haven't run a 2-stage, but I haven't run a 1-stage, and I've observed 2 stages and how they work. But this does not handle wet snow very well. The 1-stage we had was just like, it just plowed through anything and tossed anything. It was a Honda, by the way, too. which we got rid of, but partly because it just doesn't work on our surfaces. But this really has issues with the thick sort of snow. It kind of backs up against the back here, and these augers, all they do is plow holes in it and push the whole thing up in front of the machine. So it works best for fresh snow, which is why I'm doing it now, but before the snow gets hard and wet. But that's just another detail where I might want to get like a 2-stage at some point. It might be a little bit easier. But yeah, that's our machine. We've had it for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I don't know how many it is now. Just about since we moved into this property. So one very important tip I've got for you guys is to always buy OEM MTD shear pins. In my experience, if you buy cheap Amazon knockoff pins, they just break everywhere. I'm not sure what it is, but they're just always breaking. So as soon as I switch back to the original MTD pins, they last a lot longer. All right, let me set you up on the tripod and we'll get going. Oh, my hands are cold. Okay, so it's still full of gas, thankfully. And I do change the oil every year. Looks perfect. Give it a few primes. Switch it to choke, which it already is, and throttle up. Got the sunglasses in place to keep the snow out of my eyes. Okay, put down to gear 1 and cranking. Okay, so you can see the kind of job the snowblower did to the driveway and the job it did to me. But yeah, I was kind of forgetting that the chute level control, how far it shoots the snow, that control is kind of loose and it doesn't always stay down, so kept flipping up and sending it into the wind where the snow got caught and got flung back in my face. So anyway, I'm a bit of a wreck now, but yeah, it's a monster. It's pretty powerful. So worked through this. It's not all that much. Like in places it's 5 inches, other places it's not really. I was just being sloppy here and missing all the bits here, but doing pretty well. And now it's time for the last lap, and that is doing outside our gate just by the road, which will be a trick because it is rush hour and I don't want to either hit a car or get hit by a car. So before we do that, I need to do a little bit of an adjustment to the skid shoes, just to help the augers sit a little higher off the ground so they aren't dragging in the gravel, because it's pretty loose out there. So I'll just show you how to do that. Okay, so sorry if I'm not talking clearly because my mouth is half frozen, but as you can see here, I forget what size these skid shoes are, but they're pretty big. They're the plastic ones. I mean, there's probably a technical name for them, but I just call them plastic, but because that's what they are. So you'll see 2 little screws here. I think they're 1/2 inch bolts, I'm sorry. And they're carriage bolts, so the other side won't spin. It sits into a square groove in the metal. So what you do is, these ones have slid down. I just have to loosen them up. They are locking nuts. So. And then, what you'll have to do is lift Snowblower up a little bit and then push the shoes down. And I'm getting snow caught in there. So, this one has to get loosened a bit more. You just push it down, and then you want to make sure, yeah, I think it kind of levels out enough. Just go tighten them back up, and that's about all it takes. Just do that for both sides, make sure they're at the same level, and you're set. And just like that. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of first-person view action here. Whoa, my glasses are fogging up. And we'll see how this goes. All right, see here how this machine works. Put on my gloves first. I'm not working without gloves. Okay, I put on a little bit of choke. It's been sitting a few minutes. Make sure key is in. Throttle up a bit and pull. Come on. Maybe it doesn't want choke. There we go. Okay, so we're going to try something a little bit different today, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover. This is the first one I've done, so let me know in the comments how you like it, and also let me know how you like this first-person operator's view camera format. So, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the operation of this machine. It's pretty basic as there's no electronic or heated controls, hydrostatic drive, or otherwise. The large left-hand lever is the auger control, and the large right-hand lever is the drive. To steer it, all you do is pull either of the small yellow levers under the handlebars, and what that does is cut power from the corresponding wheel, letting the other wheel propel the machine in the direction you want. Pretty simple. To switch gears, all you do is with the drive disengaged, you pull the gear selector to the right and slide it to whichever gear you want. There are 8 gears in all, 6 forward and 2 reverse. Between gears 1 and 2 is a big jump in speed, but then between 2 and 6, the gears are really in very small increments, so I don't use hardly anything in between. And then the reverse gears are so painfully slow that I don't usually use those either. When you have the drive lever held down, it will also hold the auger lever in place, leaving your left hand free for the chute controls. An important tip is whenever you want to move the snowblower around without using the drive system, it's much easier if you pull both of the yellow levers at the same time to disengage both the wheels, sort of like a neutral. All in all, I have to say that this machine works quite well for what we need it for, and we do have a gravel driveway, so it makes it a little bit difficult on the machine with all the little stones and things getting caught in the auger. We do break a lot of shear pins, but as I showed you before, buying quality ones do help as well. In my opinion, this machine is a pretty decent value for what we paid for it, which I believe was about $1,600 Canadian at the time. It's probably more now, link in the description if I can find it. The thing to remember about this machine though is that it boasts snowblowing power and not bells and whistles.
People passing each other on the road. Like, dude. Crazy weather. Yeah, it's a waiting game. Wait till it's clear. So I'm not getting any accident just for snow blowing. The last car, then we'll go do the rest of it up there. It's getting dark too, so gotta move. Wow, like look at the roads. It's literally ice. There hasn't been a snowplow in hours. All right, I'm gonna get out of here now. Alright, so that was a wonderful day of work of snow blowing, and I must say the machine did very well. Hopefully we'll have lots more to do this year. This is just the beginning. So I hope you liked this little video on this machine, our Cub Cadet 28-inch 3-stage snowblower. And yeah, I guess I'll see y'all later. G-Force over and out. Now it's time to go have my supper. Okay, now look what I've done. I came running back with the tripod, and of course, got caught between my legs, and there you go. That's what happens.